We're running with the shadows of my life. So baby, take my... Oh, I was going for a cover. Chris saved me with a joke.
Nothing can save that.
I can't.
Where does a king keep his armies?
Where?
In his sleeveys. Fuckers. All right. Welcome to another installment of Two Guys, No Ammunition. Not really Two Guys, we are No Ammunition. Do a quick mic identifier, and then we'll get to a really cool content for today. I think you guys are going to like it. We're going back to our roots.
Bill, I think that joke could be a concussion joke or a flashbang joke because it's like you put it out there and everybody acts like they just got flashbanged.
Yep.
Where it's like,
smoke bomb.
Pocket sand.
Thunderbolt.
I just kind of was like,
Balls.
for at least 10 seconds.
I think I read that off of a popsicle stick many years ago. Hey, this is Billy, Big Billy, and I have broken my streak of wearing sweatpants, and I'm really upset about it.
You should.
I haven't.
God damn it, Bill.
And I'm Chris, and Bill, that joke, you have a higher chance of getting autism from that joke than from vaccines.
What?
So 110%.
Like, what? Oh, you guys, what is this math today? Oh, awful. I'm
Introduce
Genevieve, and I am also not wearing sweatpants and realizing that Frank's the only one in here who is.
That's right. I'm Frank. And I'm picking up Bill's streak of the sweatpants gig.
Nice.
Passing the baton. I'm Jake, and while we're on the subject of pants, 4 out of 5 of us are wearing jeans.
Oh, no. It's
Cool
like we're
kids.
fucking American or
Son
something.
of a bitch.
You kids.
No one else has a shirt that says "No pain, no gain" 15 times in a row.
That is like that shirt makes me think of those little kids who have shirts like it's like real hard ass or bad monster or something, and the like little pudgy kids, you know, like they're
fucking gremlins.
they're not
so.
these athletic monsters, and there's Under Armour shirts that say like "Eat me" or whatever.
All my kids are gonna wear apparel that says "Eat me," and I'll just wait for the day when they finally get taken by a wildcat. What?
Yeah, but I think the Wildcats are going to try and eat them regardless of what their shirt
Or a
says.
cannibal.
No,
That's
they can
more
read
like
now. All right.
Actual cannibal. Shia
Let's
LaBeouf.
reflect. Let's take some time to reflect on our past. And
And all the mistakes.
if you say that this has never happened to you, I will call you a liar, in my mind at least.
You're going to call me a liar because I guarantee you this is whatever it is, whatever you're thinking of has probably never happened.
All right, the bets are in. Let's see what happens.
All right, so I'm on my computer, attached to my computer, actually attached to Genevieve's computer. I still have my original keyboard and mouse that my mom bought me when I was in like 8th grade.
100 years ago.
Yeah, and I was looking at it, I was like, holy fuck, not only is this thing old, but it is put up with some fucking abuse. And I was reflecting to Genevieve, like, yeah, this mouse, I can't believe it's still working. And she says, why? And in my mind, I could see like a video, me taking that mouse after I got fucking boom headshotted in Counter-Strike for the 1,000th time in a row, slamming it on the desk. Whack, whack, whack. So my question is,
Why?
why? Can you guys remember the most emotional time of your video game career, or one particular time that you got emotional over a video game? Because I tell you, I remember it vividly, and it was playing Counter-Strike when I first started to get into PC games, and I would just run around a corner and get shot in the face, and that was it, day after day after day.
And yet you kept playing.
Exactly, I did. That was the very beginning of a 10-year career.
Odd.
Come on, who else has got some memories on some game rage?
Not rage. I never really raged at games, at least not that I can remember. But as far as emotional response to games, I remember when I'm pretty sure I was 9, because Final Fantasy IX came out in 1999.
When you were 9?
When I was 9.
Oh my god.
Lots of 9s here. It's the Herman Cain 999 plan.
999.
Yeah. But I beat the game, and I mean, I put in every hour I was allowed to play video games into this game after it came out for like weeks, right? Which is a long time when you're 9 years old. Like 2 weeks of a dedicated task is a lot for a 9-year-old to go in on. And then I finally beat it. And I was like, I remember telling my mom that I wasn't sure what to do with my life next. I'm pretty sure it's over. I was like, it was like a combination of like happiness, despair, and like sad. You know what I mean? I was like, I was seriously lost. I was like, not quite crying, but like, oh my God, I don't know what to do now. And I just felt like this ridiculous emotion that I was very emotional that I beat it. Not even like that the ending, like I don't even remember the ending, and I don't think the ending really had much of a emotional impact on me. It was just that feeling of like, that was the most effort that I've ever put into something in my entire life, and it is now over with. And that's the most emotional I think I've ever been in a video game.
Oh, or in life. That's when you shut down your emotion core.
Probably.
Oh my God. Who here played the Pokemon where you had to fight that Moo that used rollout?
Is that just
That was
Cow?
the gold, silver, and
gold,
crystal.
silver.
Oh my God.
That one gym?
You want to talk about emotion?
I didn't have an issue with that gym. There were other problems. I was like, I had problems getting through other parts of that game, but that was one where I was like well prepared for whatever reason.
I mean, I was able to do it, I remember, but I was just like, I can't believe it. It's not even fair. How do you get to use knockout again? I'd come in and I'd choose the wrong Pokemon and be like, that's super effective. And it would just pass out. And be like, this game is bullshit.
that's still how he talks too.
Oh my God. I reflected on how upset and betrayed I used to feel on these games. And it's like, if I had done one iota of research.
Well, the internet was not the place it is today back then. So,
Oh, no.
I mean, you probably would have found your answer, but it would have taken a lot of Alta Vista-ing.
Oh, no, listen. I struggled in school in like
End sentence.
in elementary school and even into middle school because my mom and my stepdad decided we didn't need a fucking computer. So this we were like, oh, you got to start doing research on the internet to write your reports. And like, you know, kids would Google shit or go to Britannica online. I don't know what the fuck you do.
Jeeves, Alta Vista.
Yeah. Well, I had to go to my mom's encyclopedias from the 70s and read through those, which were not exactly relevant to whatever I was reporting on.
Barbarian.
And then if I wasn't handwriting the essays, which I did quite a bit, I wrote them on my mom's whisper writer. Do you guys know what this is?
Yes.
Ha-ha.
A typewriter.
It is a typewriter that does not type as you go. It saves it on a 3.5-inch tall green screen that updates maybe once every half second. So I would write 8-page reports and then have to proofread it through there because you'd lose a point for every typo. And then I'd have to print it and go. It was just a little LCD display on a goddamn horrible old printer. That's really what it was, with a keyboard attached. And they said, "Oh, it's a typewriter, isn't this great?" I think I lost like three papers. The machine was just like, "That's too much. It's too much in my memory. It's gone now." I'm like, "Ow!" I had to rewrite it.
I had an electric keyboard growing up too.
Is that what they're called?
Electronic keyboard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or electronic typewriter. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those growing up. I think we finally ditched it when I was in 5th or 6th grade.
I think it's still in our crawl space. I bet if I went back there, I'd see that goddamn thing.
I remember when I was in 4th grade, you had to write a 10-page paper in my 4th grade class.
Wow.
Right? Yeah,
What?
right?
That is tremendous.
It was assigned on the first day of school, and it was due like 2 weeks from the end of school.
Okay.
Yeah. So you had literally all year to write it.
Okay.
And you got
like
to
too much time.
Yeah.
You were like 9 in 4th grade,
Yes.
though. 9-year-olds can't do anything for
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Everything bad that happened to you happened in 1999 when you were 9.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he got thrown off the cage in Hell in a Cell or whatever.
That would have been great in 1999.
The Undertaker threw
mankind 30 feet.
Aren't memes fun?
Yeah,
Okay,
anyway.
I
sorry.
don't know that one.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that was, I mean, I'm pretty sure literally every student in the class, except me, had their parents write it for them. And my mom was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, screw that. And I know at least 4 other kids in my class had their parents write it for them. And I wrote it by myself.
And how was it? What did you write it on?
Weather.
Jesus
Wait, what?
Christ.
I wanted to be a meteorologist when I was 10.
I feel like that teacher never created that assignment again after reading that paper.
Probably.
4th graders' take on the weather.
Well, it was really, it actually ended up being way easier than I thought it was because I did like 1 page on like thunderstorms and 1 page on clouds and 1 page on tornadoes
Only
and
one
1
page for clouds?
Yeah.
I feel like clouds would be...
And it was stupid too because it was just like cumulonimbus clouds are like this, and I would just write a paragraph of facts about cumulus. So I pretty much just like copy and pasted. Now, granted, I didn't actually copy and paste because I was typing it on my electronic typewriter. But I pretty much just like I had these. I also had a set of encyclopedias. They are still in my bedroom at my dad's house. And I remember they were blue, and they were all really scale. Like they were not real encyclopedias; they were clearly kids' encyclopedias.
Aww.
Because they were all at most a half, maybe a quarter inch thick, and there were 20 of them. So I pretty much just like typed right out of those, like, and changed the wording around slightly. That like this is what a cloud. This is this type of cloud. This is this type of cloud. Hurricanes do this.
Cumulonimbus clouds float in the. No, that won't work. Cumulonimbus clouds don't sink in the sky. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I got an A on it, and I'm pretty sure I was the only person that wrote it my goddamn self.
Wow.
And all I did was pretty much type out whatever was already in the encyclopedia. But hey,
I just think the
maybe
fact
that's what
that
all the parents did too.
I think
Probably.
I think the fact that you had anything to hand in at all is a testament to your ability.
Did they give you like a prompt or any specific?
no, you got to
guidelines?
pick. You got to pick the topic.
Just write 10 pages about.
Write 10 pages about something you're interested in.
Wait a minute.
Couldn't you,
You
just do,
wanted-
like, freehand?
You wanted to be a meteorologist?
When I was a young kid, yeah.
But
Do
he
you
was
still want to
9.
be a meteorologist?
No.
We should start doing a weather section just for Frank to realize his dream.
Want to be a weatherman,
No.
Frank?
And I'm going to counter your wait a minute with my own wait a minute. We're talking about writing papers in grade school, and we started with emotional video game moments.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
were
give you
also talking
another
about the
one.
typewriter thing.
When I first started playing Super Smash Brothers 64, I was convinced the only conclusion as to why I was getting my ass whooped in single player against that level 3 computer was because the game was taking my input and saying, he's about to punch. Let's pause that while the computer punches him first, and then we'll execute his command. That is what I believed it was doing to defeat me.
Aren't there games that do that?
I don't know.
You said doo-doo.
All right, Genevieve.
Never play what was it called? Bastard Tetris.
No.
What is that?
Bastard Tetris is normal Tetris, except the algorithm is not to give you pieces randomly. It's to deduce which piece you need the least.
Oh my god.
And it's extremely frustrating.
I want to try that.
And eventually you cannot clear any more. You just can't clear another line, and you're just fucked.
Huh.
Inevitably, it happens.
I gotta tell you, I've gotten to a point now, like a game is like really fucked and I can't beat it. I am then compelled to try again later, even after a long time of rest. But back in the day, I get to the point I'm like, you can't beat this. Start to cry.
What was that sound?
And that's me, like throwing my little keyboard. Slam, slam, slam.
Sounds like a tiny engine
God.
revving up.
I don't know if I have a moment that fits into this niche, because I mean I've certainly gotten frustrated at video games.
You never smashed anything? Look, here's the thing.
I have yelled at the screen. I have I think I threw a controller once, but I don't remember why. And
They
shorted
blocked
out.
it
They were
out.
never-
So,
I either just put the game down and never came back to it, or I overcame it and beat it eventually, and then just forgot about the frustration in the first place, other than vaguely. I don't know. They weren't ever so traumatic for me.
I think it was just that it was especially the competitive ones. I was like, how can I be this dog shit? And you know how kids are. They play games all the time. So it was hours and hours and hours. And I was just a plug for all of them. Come on, Chris. You must have had emotional experience. Maybe even a good emotion.
No, I was really frustrated recently. There was that game on the Steam sale, Story About My Uncle.
Yeah.
I was so fucking frustrated at one point. I was stuck on a puzzle for like 4 hours. And some people were saying they beat the game in 2 in the Steam reviews, and I'm like, am I retarded?
Did you ever finish it?
I did finish it, yes.
Okay.
That was one that was free, right?
It was free, yes, and it's $12.99 now.
Yeah, I went on to get it the day after, and it was up to $12.99.
I wouldn't pin it at $12.99, but I would give it $5.99.
Okay.
For sure, but because it is a good game. But there was a couple puzzles in there because the physics are like wild, and I'm just like, and I was just convinced that the grappling hook in the game was just really buggy. Too,
Chris would buy it for $6 because he would somehow manage to get 4 hours of content into 6 hours.
Yeah,
using our
wonderful
$1 per
algorithm.
hour.
What about you? Any emotional stuff over there?
I mean, I stopped playing Assassin's Creed because I couldn't get 100% on a mission a few times.
Oh my
and I was just
God.
like,
So you're just an overachiever.
Yeah, kind of. But that's it. Like, it wasn't even like throw the controller angrily or anything. I have had an embarrassing moment. When I was 11, I'm playing Sims. One of my Sims decided it was time to give birth as my mom walks in the room. So 11-year-old me had to explain why my fake person in the computer went behind the couch, screamed a whole bunch, and then just had a baby in her arms. She still likes to make fun of me for it for today. Or this day.
Moms don't really get new material very often, do they? You guys ever played video games with your parents?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
How'd that go?
Well, I'm sure we've roped my dad into it, but I really only remember my mom playing with us. And that was Mario Kart. She played maybe half of a game because her thumb started to hurt. And that's pretty much all I can say.
Anybody else?
My dad has always been huge into racing of all sorts, pretty much anything. Cars, motorcycles, whatever. He was a pretty good dirt bike racer when he was a late teenager, early 20s. But he enjoyed, so he bought me and himself the steering wheel kits for PlayStation 2 and then one of the NASCAR games, so that he could drive a NASCAR on a video game. And he was so bad.
Did he give up? Is that what happened?
No, I mean, he was just bad at it. He kept doing it. He was just really bad at it. I'd always beat him.
Still plays to this day.
He still does have the PS2 hooked up to the TV. I don't know if he ever plays it, but he has that game. And then there's a World of Outlaws, which is a sprint. If anybody knows what a sprint car is, you can Google it. World of Outlaws. It's the league for their sprint car racing. And like a 4-wheeler racing game.
My dad played Super Smash Brothers. I think it was Melee with me one time, and he did really well. I beat him, but it was competitive. I was like, bro, you did really well. He's like, I don't like that. I never want to play it again.
It's unfortunate.
We've never played another video game.
You're pretty good at that game. So if he was competitive, he was probably picking it up pretty quick. That's good.
But I used to play NFL Blitz with my stepdad, and
I remember being frustrated with that game.
oh yeah. Oh man, I was talking major trash. Genevieve and I were playing against each other, and we made it in a drinking game format. And I was a little bit of a jerk, I guess.
Have you played any of the new Maddens recently?
No.
Within the past 2 or 3 years?
No.
Bill, you might want to try it.
Really?
They're outstanding.
What's outstanding? Are they NFL Blitz?
No.
And I don't know.
No, it has gone from a borderline arcadey sim, if that makes sense, to a straight
Sounds like a rapper
football
name.
simulation.
No way.
Yeah. it plays like the NFL plays.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not easy either. And something that I will talk about at some point today when we decide to get around to it is there is a gaming cafe, like a LAN place here in Westchester that I've gone to visit now twice. And it's pretty cool, but they had Madden. One of the things you could do, like their special for the weekend was if you beat the Saints as the Eagles in Madden on the all Madden difficulty, the hardest difficulty setting, you got 2 free hours. So I tried. I actually failed. So did the Eagles. But
whoa.
Yeah, I know. It was sad. I was very sad. But I did not think I would enjoy playing Madden that much, especially on a computer.
What was your final score?
It was like 30-23. So it was, they beat me by a touchdown. But it was like I hadn't played in a while, so I had to do a little bit of practice first.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I remembered how to play and all that shit. Yeah, it is. I can see why it's still so popular, because I always wonder, like, how does this game continue to sell every year? Because I know there's the diehards that'll pick it up every year,
right?
But I feel like at this point, the majority of people that buy that game are picking it up at most every other year.
So that's actually a pretty interesting example, because it's what a video of somebody playing Madden is what led me to this topic, and it was like some mid-level competition for money for Madden, and one guy, like, they blast through the plays so quick because they already know them, so you can't see the menus when they pop up. It's like shh, and then he would run a play and it wouldn't work. He's like, this game sucks, it's so stupid, and it's like a 30-year-old guy in a competition, like, come on. And
I'll bet he sounded exactly like that.
Dude,
I'm not
kidding.
Probably.
I'm not exaggerating. It's ridiculous. It's like that high-pitched whine. And like, listen, I've been there
Yeah?
when I was a child.
Wait, what's it like?
Do it again. So it's actually just
Come on.
Wait, one more time? Thanks.
I've been there when I was a child, But like, at some point, you got to move beyond that. But of all the horrible things in the game sphere that are preventing more people from entering it, I do think that the rage of other players is a contributor. I mean, there's something like, you ever watch the video of these like 10-year-old kids freaking out over the mic on Xbox Live or whatever?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, there's that. There's the kid who flipped out when his mom canceled his Warcraft.
No, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well,
This is one of
you've
the old
never
video.
seen this?
Was
This
that
is
the one where he
old.
puts the remote
With
up
the
his
remote
in his
butt?
ass,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And then people flipped out in Jacksonville.
I'm
Shot
pretty-
at the place.
I'm pretty sure that kid got a web.
dude was
There's
fucked up.
gaming rage.
I'm pretty sure that kid that shoved the remote up his ass got a web redemption by Tosh.0.
He did.
He did.
They redeem that. Like, what do you do?
You don't. I mean,
And
he
then-
was
Yeah.
on there, but
How do
he
you
did
undo
not.
a remote up your ass?
I don't know. But like, I have been on games where I'm doing okay and somebody freaks out. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't give a shit that you care so much about this stupid fucking game. Really, the thing that gives me the most grief is if I'm like, I'm trying to learn how to play a new game in non-competitive casual mode, and they're like, oh, you're not laning correctly or whatever the fuck it is. God damn it.
Yeah, wonder what you're talking about there.
Definitely not League of
Which
Legends.
game could it be?
Well, I mean,
Wait, League of Legends
that
or Dota?
community.
League of Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Well-
about Dota. I was going to say that community is very toxic.
Ugh. Like, so I don't know. I look back and laugh now. I just kind of feel sorry for these people,
I don't.
Maybe
And their buttholes.
maybe I wonder if we can put some sort of test in the
I was
community.
really expecting the hand motion you're doing was about.
Yeah, I thought you were spreading their assholes open with
No.
the hand motion you were doing.
Maybe we can put some
Get
sort
your
of
gloves
test.
at people.
Maybe we can put some sort of test in there, like
in your butthole.
we stress the community, and if you rage over the microphone, you get put in the kiddie server, and if you do okay, you get put in the growed up server. But you only tell the people who are grown-ups about the grown-up server.
Yeah.
And they are not allowed to tell the kids at the kiddie server.
Why would you just not don't tell either? Then they'll never know. I guess unless you have a friend who you want to play with. There we go, yeah.
What?
You'd
Me?
be at the kiddie table for sure.
Oh, I'd absolutely be at the kiddie table.
Teacup! I can't win with my teacup! Cuphead, right? Isn't that what it was? Teacup head?
Is that
Teacup
what you
head?
All right, Chris.
Sippy cup.
Frank, you got
face.
You got any
Cup
more
face?
material on Mad? You want to give us a little bit? Or the game place?
The game place?
The bar, yeah.
Yeah, that place is really cool. It is a slightly, I'm not going to say overpriced, but it's a little on the expensive side. I can see it being better. Like, and so here's my take on it from the time that I was there. And granted, I haven't been there in 2 weeks now. I would say the average age of
totally
that place.
Changed.
Yeah. And no, I bet it. You're not wrong.
Really?
Yeah. So when I went there, I would say I doubled the average age of it by being there by myself.
Oh my God.
Lots of kids in the range of 10 to 13.
So there's not booze.
No, it is. I don't even know if they serve food at all.
What?
Yeah, it's just
They probably don't want
really
their-
nice computers.
It's
Get
Westchester. There's like 4 places to eat across the street.
Yeah,
And several more beside it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
so that was the thing that was going. Now, granted, there was a 10-year-old's birthday party going on at the place when I was there. So
That's really why you went.
there's that. No, it was I had to that was my first time there, and I had to leave because of it, quite honestly.
They asked you to leave?
No.
No, I had to leave because of the court order.
Yeah. I couldn't deal with it. The kids there were just all hyped up on
They were
Mountain
too
Dew.
sexy. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Were they like screeching or getting in your
Yeah.
way? Oh, good.
Yeah.
He likes that, though.
Genevieve,
Can you mute her?
do you have something you want to tell us?
Yeah.
I think there's some projection going on.
No.
Yeah,
you.
so that was difficult.
Was
to deal
Madden
with.
the only thing you got hands on?
No, I played a little
on.
PUBG.
Played what?
I played a little
Come
PUBG.
on!
What else did you play?
PUBG.
Fucker.
How'd you do?
It's tougher on PC because I had never played on PC before, so the controls were like controls on console as well are clunky. But I mean, it's a lot. So my first time playing on PC, it was a little rough. So I played a little bit of that, a little bit of Dota. What else did I play? And then a little bit of Madden. So I was there for the first time a little under 2 hours before I had to like pack it up and get going.
How do they charge you? You just check in, they bill you on the way out, or?
So you actually pay ahead of time, and you can buy like an amount of time. So I bought 5 hours. It was like $50.
So if you run out of time, do they send a bouncer over and kick you out?
No, so you have to you create an account, you log into the computer, right, and it shows you like how much time you have left.
Okay.
So then, like basically, when you run out of time, it like logs you out.
Are there any rules about how long you can be on a PC or something?
I don't think so.
Not like at the gym?
Yeah, no.
20 minutes on the cardio machines. And
20
then
minutes? That's it?
30 minutes or
the
something.
busy
like that.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So you bought the 5 hours, but you left it 2. So you have like 3 still left, so you can go
So
and
I
use
went-
up those 3 another time.
I went back another time. I went back on a weeknight when I figured the kids would not, because the first time I was there was a weekend. So I went back on a weeknight when it wasn't quite empty, but there were no kids there, and it was much better that time. Without all the craziness of a 10-year-old's birthday party. So that's, I mean, now I was talking to the owner a little bit. He expects it to be more like, he expects the crowd to be more college age once school is back in session. I haven't been back since classes started here at the university. But I kind of expect the same thing, and I'm interested to go back. I still have an hour left because I was there for about another 2 hours.
So they do let you keep it?
Oh, yeah. So
I thought it would expire.
No, yeah, you have the account, you go back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can just buy as much as you want play for as long as you want.
How do they make sure you're not using the computer for pornos?
Doesn't even have a web browser.
What?
Yeah, it has its own like OS essentially, not OS, but its own program and that'll only allow you to log in, and it has the games that are on the PC there that you basically can click which game you want to play, and that's it.
Any sort of older games? What's the most interesting game you noticed on there? Are they all just big time games?
Yeah, they're all big. So they have Counter-Strike. It's mostly like the competitive esports games. StarCraft, CS:GO, Dota, League of Legends, PUBG, Fortnite, Madden.
Is there any sort of software assistance to help facilitate like a sort of a LAN? Like if we all went in, would it be like easily join your buddy over here?
I don't know. Didn't try. Didn't ask. Didn't cross my mind. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would guess that's kind of what the idea of the birthday party was. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to go there and like all play like a round of Dota or Counter-Strike or something together.
Yeah.
I could teach you nerds how to, bow, bow, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How to quick scope.
Yeah, 360 quick scope.
360 quick scope. Use scrubs.
Dude, I've watched videos of kids. They're like 360 quick scope against whoever, and it's literally they're just like spinning their character around, and it is the most nonsense I've ever seen. And I have to remind myself that they're children, and I was just as ridiculous at that time, But I'm like, how the fuck does somebody's brain go, this is cool? All right.
You don't remember like just spinning was entertaining?
No, I've always been a big fella.
It's dangerous when you get going.
Yep.
We've gone over Bill's spatial awareness settings.
It's low.
Low.
It's low.
Stats.
If it exists.
So I'll tell you, probably the most emotionally satisfying end to a video game I ever had was
Or lie I tried to believe.
what a good one. No, it was
Timeless. Timeless.
Classic.
it was Skies of Arcadia, because I think I put like 75 hours in that game. It was 2 discs on the Sega Dreamcast. It was just like the first sort of Final Fantasy type game I ever played. And I got to the end, and I was reading everybody's after stories as I was getting yelled at for not completing my chores. So I was like, Mom, I'm trying to read the end of the game. And she's like, you said you'd be done 20 minutes ago. I didn't know it was the end of the game with the story. Conflicting emotions.
You read everyone's story at the end, or like
I
did
tried
you end
to.
up having to rush through it?
I had to rush through it. I'll just beat the game again. All right, one final story.
Don't watch the end of a playthrough.
One final story. Well, there was a period of time in my life when I wasn't allowed to play video games until I asked for permission. Well, I heard my mom's car pull up, and I ran downstairs to ask her if I could play Nintendo 64. Right as she was coming to the garage door, I opened it, and I smacked her with the door.
Oh.
I was like, oh, sorry. Can I play Nintendo?
And she said,
yeah. Yeah. She's like, this fucking kid. Yeah, okay.
It's one of spaz.
Oh my god.
I'm going to make it work on this whisper writer for the next 5 years.
That'll teach him about doors.
Send it off to college with him.
It was the first of many signs. To come.
All right. We're kicking it over to the next section.
Jesus.
Get into some game review. All right, everybody. Catch you on the flip side. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are, section 2. Chris, You had some stuff you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So recently, I started playing Magic the Gathering Arena.
What's that all about?
It's pretty much the game of Magic the Gathering, the card game.
But in an arena.
In an arena on your computer desktop.
Magic the Gathering is like a turn. It's the OG monster card battle game, right?
Yeah.
I think it's made by Wizards of the Coast, who also own
D&D.
D&D.
Correct.
So there's some lore crossage there, but Magic the Gathering, I think they came out in like the 80s.
25 years ago this year. This is the 25th anniversary.
So it's been pumping along for a while.
Yeah. 10 million players worldwide right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Apparently this is the most popular it's ever been right now.
So now they've made.
I'm sorry, Bill. Do you think, not to get too far off topic, but I think I'm interested in this. Do you think that's because of the Arena that has like pretty much opened it up to be able to?
Arena is incredibly new. It's still in beta.
Okay. I've heard about it. It's got to be a year old.
Probably, I think so, at least. Yeah. But no, leading up to this, they said that it's been going.
Okay.
I actually watched it. It was a Device documentary on Magic the Gathering, and I think that came out actually in 2016.
Gotcha.
So, and they were saying there was 10 million people. It's the most popular. So even now, it's even more now.
Yeah, I wonder how much the Arena has contributed to the base card game. To the game card games, the in-person card games popularity, given that. Like, if you're new to it, going to a tournament filled with people who already know how to play and everything like that, it could probably be a little intimidating. Whereas, you're online, it gives you a really good tutorial from what I've heard on how to play, a lot less intimidating to get started. And that's, to me, with a lot of this, what we talk about here, a lot of the nerd stuff, there's a real high learning curve that's pretty intimidating for the average person. And the culture behind, think of something like Dota or League of Legends, similar to that. Like the culture behind somebody sucking when they first start, like a lot of the entrenched people who've been into it for a while don't want to tolerate the noobs. Mm. But you give them an opportunity to learn elsewhere without bothering them, and all of a sudden popularity skyrockets.
Yeah, I mean, the game, it was honestly the first time I played it, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to translate this to the actual game. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, it just, like, clicked within, like, 2 or 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you know what? I love this. I need to go get the real thing. And here I am with the real thing now. Went and bought a deck. Went and bought the 2019 core set. And here we are. And I thought it translated pretty well. I thought I held my own pretty well. We just played.
Yeah, well, you defeated me twice, so I think you did pretty well.
Pretty good, I would say.
I'm by no means a good player, but I do enjoy it. I've played a handful of games with some of my other friends. It's like every couple of months we get the itch for it back. I'm really interested in playing the video game because I need to learn the rules like in an applicable setting. Like I could read through the rule book, but I don't really know what half the stuff means until it comes up. And even with our game down there, we ran into some interpretations like, oh, right, this can tap target creature. Well, since it's not, the creature has flying, but this isn't a regular attack, it's an ability, can you affect it and tap that creature, right? So playing in the game, I think that'll let me learn directly how these things are applied, and it will make me a better player in the card game. But the big threshold, the big barrier to entry for me for any of these card games is if I get sucked into it and I really want to get good, I feel like I'm going to have to spend a fuckload of money to get the cards. And interestingly, I don't know if it's just because like I'm an adult with money, but it seems like these cards have gotten considerably more affordable in recent years. Like the price has not gone up with inflation, but in fact gone down a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I was so.
Can I take a guess?
Sure. Good.
Is it less than $100?
Well, here, I have this box. Mm-hmm. It came with 80 lands, 80 land cards.
Yeah.
And then it came with 10 booster packs that has 15 cards each in it. So that's 230 cards. Guess how much I paid for that?
I'm gonna say for that 50.
$40.
$40. Yeah, that's not
$40,
bad.
and I was able to make 2 decks out of it, and I could keep like redoing. I can change them any way I want. But I will say, after playing Arena, I want to get more because they have like all different kinds of sets like that that I can interchange, and then other pre-made decks and everything. And I'm just like, oh, this is cool.
Bill, I'm with you. A lot of this stuff. One, I think a lot of it does have to do with the fact that we are now adults with big boy paychecks. Where 40 or $50 dropping that on some
40
entertainment.
Or 50 years ago.
No, 40 or $50. that doesn't seem like that's a tank of gas. It's like it's in the budget if you want something. But I think what you're overlooking right now is something like think about Dungeons and Dragons, right? So you can get the core rule books, and first of all, I talked about the starter set, which was $12, which is all you need to play an adventure,
right?
But beyond that, you could get the core rule books and like a full-fledged pre-written adventure for like all 3 rule books plus that for like $120. All right, that's that is. We talk about the $1 per hour. A full-fledged pre-written campaign is going to take you easily 120 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hopefully you're going to have 4 or 5 people to do it. So, like, theoretically, you could even split the cost 4 or 5 ways, right? So, because it's not a one-person thing. And so that seems pretty affordable, right? But then you get into the whole, well, now you want miniatures and, the board sets that come with like the dungeon tile sets and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden Wizards raked you over for like $400.
Right.
And that's how they do it, right?
But you know what? That can easily happen with Magic too. Because
right?
It's like you heard me. I was just like, oh, I can get this booster pack and this, that, and the other thing.
They get you sucked in with like a really solid, they're going to give you a lot of value for that. They're like crack dealers. They give you that, they give you a 2-for-1 on your first go round because then you get hooked and you're coming back to them every day.
The thing that I was sort of getting at is I remember back when I was actively collecting Pokemon cards in the late 90s and the early aughts, I suppose. And I seem to remember those booster cards being like $8 a piece, and a 60 card thing with a guaranteed holographic was like 20 or 25. And those were similarly priced. Now you're talking about 15 booster packs plus 80 lands for $40. It literally seems to me like it is less expensive than it used to be. And maybe in today's market, it needs to be lower priced to be more competitive. But like I said, I could just be crazy. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that I always really, really loved about these Magic the Gathering cards is the incredible art on them. They get
gorgeous.
It's unbelievable. And they get a number of different artists to do it. If you've ever looked at different kinds of fantasy work, I'm passing one to Jake here so he can see what I'm talking about. These artists do all sorts of different copy for different games and D&D books and shit like that. And now they put the name right on the bottom of there.
Right on the card.
David Gallet. And it's like a full-sized painting that they have illustrated, and they shrink it down and they put it on the card. So one, you get to look at this super cool interpretation of somebody who's really talented. And they don't all look the same, they seem to let these artists go. And then at the bottom of a lot of these cards, they have neat little quotes that I like trying to decipher the lore. So we're looking at a card here called Gallant Cavalry. And at the bottom it says, "Our duty does not stop at our borders." Ooh, always gives me like a little bit of lore goosey bumps. I don't know. I love this shit. So when you're like, hey, you want to pay 30 cents a card for this dope art and lore? I go, yeah.
Yeah, and the lore, the cool thing with Magic too is that they're constantly adding more and more to the story. Like right now, like the 2019, apparently they brought back the Nico Bolas dragon, and he's trying to make a resurgence or what have you.
I don't know what any of that. I just wonder if they have like a giant program to keep this shit all balanced. It's unbelievable. They literally have 25 years of cards, and they just neatly phase a bunch out. Yeah, these new cards. How the fuck do you like? There's like 6 different colors. Like red, blue, white, black, green, something else. And they all have different themes. Like black is like poison and death. White is like angelic and life. And Red is fire and blue is
Water.
That's it.
and red is fire.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Yes,
said that before. Water.
That's why it was even more confusing when
Wait,
you
what's
didn't
blue?
say blue is water.
Oh.
Dabu dee
Right
dabu die.
after.
Water is
If I were
wet.
green,
What
I
a
would
great
die.
reference. Okay, so they've got all these different colors, different abilities, and they're all like well-designed rock paper scissors because they're a weakness to one thing and weak to something else. I just don't know how they keep track of it. How do they do it? Do they go out and they find the most genius savants out
There's
there?
got to be a better way.
Lots of autists for sure.
Does this ever happen to you?
I need to create a 2.5-decade-old game and keep it perfectly balanced.
You know what though, Bill? Like as far as the price goes and getting started, I think when you talk about like today, it has to be competitively priced in order to get the interest there. I think that goes for almost anything that is in person, because the amount of entertainment available to you on the cheap to not move your ass and sit on your couch is, I mean, it's astronomical now. If you think about it, like think about the mid to late 90s, right? I mean, that was the beginning where the people were talking about, I have 100 channels. Well, now we have like 500 channels on TV. But in addition to that, we have Netflix and we have Hulu and we have HBO and like all these things that we can stream anything, anytime, essentially, in addition to video games, right? 20 some years ago, you know, when you think about Pokemon versus Magic versus Pogs or any of the things, right? You're talking about like if you wanted entertainment on any night of the week, you pretty much had to leave your house and go somewhere to hang out with people or invite people over, right?
Yeah. I just want my Crazy Bones back. Anybody have any Crazy Bones?
Yeah.
It was like marbles, but they were these shitty plastic bones, and I kept them in a cool little coffin. My cousin said they were dope, so I bought a bunch and then never played ever. So.
They're actually just
Oh yeah, I remember those.
I had a Whistler though.
Did you get crazy boned by Crazy Bones?
No, but I couldn't get any more when Zany Brainy went out of business. Who'd have thought selling plastic bones in plastic coffins to children was not a sustainable business model?
love that stuff.
Kids love bones.
Kids love useless junk.
Well, so
I love useless junk.
Yeah, it's true. I
So,
still love useless.
every time I think of Magic the Gathering, I remind myself that I need to complete my first generation 150 Pokemon card collection. And the longer I wait, the more expensive they get, and I'm going to put myself in the poorhouse.
I have 2 binders full of Pokemon cards.
I will buy them. Just name a price.
$2,000.
That's the thing. Every time I say that to people, they're like, I haven't looked at my Pokemon cards in 10 years. I'm like, well, I'll just buy them because there's like 10 cards I want. I'll just take them. And they go, wait a minute, I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to give you a really hard price. I'm like, you will never do that, and you will never sell it, and you will never make the money. So you either sell it to me for an amount of money. I was like, Christ, I'll just tell you the ones I want. I'll pay you market value. Like, no, I got to do research. Ugh, all right. Just see you never, you fucking nerd.
I have to locate them first.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you. This happens specifically with somebody I used to work with. She's like, my brother has his card, and they're just sitting around. I'm like, tell him I'll buy them. Oh, I have to look into it. Oh, my God. I'm not going to screw you here.
I think I have all the Gen 1 cards. They're not all like first edition or nothing, but I have a lot.
I need like 18 or 22 more holographics to complete my set. I need like holographic Vileplume or something.
I had that one at one point. Next time I'm back at my dad's house, I'll look for it.
I will pay you fair market value.
What is that? Like $3?
Yeah, but it's like $25 for some of them. For Venusaur. Anyway.
Oh, look. I had that one.
The thing that happens with these Magic the Gathering cards is like anything else, any other game that's competitive. We talked about Overwatch. We talked about, I don't know, Black Lake sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, this is hype. I want to get into it. And you start to build and get competitive. And then you're like, oh, I have other things to do. And you fall out of it for a week or two. And then you're a scrub again. So this game that gives you free play, that sounds like it might be really good for me because they really do update the cards like 3 or 4 times a year or something?
No, it's every couple of years, longer than that. Like this 2019 core will probably go another year or 2.
Yeah, but they'll release another update.
Oh yeah,
to that core set with good competitive cards. So if you wanted to be like,
or they'll pull out like weak ones or ones that don't like work, like the mechanics don't work with the game. Or with how people are playing.
So I guess it's
similar to how Dota 2 does it, how they're constantly rotating like characters, changing their abilities and stuff to how people are playing at the time.
Yeah, so maybe it's more like a game that's gone into long-term developer support because they're constantly updating it. But I was just talking to Genevieve. I was like, I can't wait until I have nothing else to spend money on so I could be good at Magic and just spend my money on a stupid hobby.
What a nerd.
But I'll tell you what, the thing that I've always been struck by, every time I go into a Magic the Gathering like heavy store, like a comic book store that has a lot of shit, but really any sort of like tabletop role playing like Dungeons and Dragons style store, everybody's super hype. When I come in, I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this. Like, can you tell me about it? And they're like, what? Like, yeah, dude, like what's yeah, I come in and they
respond just like that.
They all kind of like Tim the Toolman Teller. They it's the only community I've gone into that
secretly Tim Allen works at every comic book store out there.
It's the only community I've gone into that is consistently always supportive in me joining. Even though I'm like, I haven't played in 6 years and I look like a big scary woodsman. Can I buy some of your cool games? And I'm like, yeah, okay. What do you want? I don't know.
Wait, that's you?
Yeah, me. I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, all right, well, what kind of deck are you trying to build? I don't know. All right, well, we recommend this, this, and this, and this, and here, take this thing, and here's a discount to get started. You know, they're always fucking cool. So has that been your experience so far, or is the community on the game toxic?
No, actually, on the game, you really can't have like a conversation with your opponent.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
it is probably
that's why it's so popular.
The way that they do it is pretty much there's no like single player. There's no bots you can play with, so you're always match made with somebody, and you could pretty much just say like hello, oops. Good game.
Those are all the words I need for life.
Did anybody else hear that? All right, good.
What?
Nothing.
What happened?
It's on tape. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
Tape. That's what we record on here.
Yeah.
Wait.
Reels of tape.
Yeah, no, I feel like you could still get people fired up. Like if you beat them and they kind of blew it, you just go, oops, 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 good game, oops, oops, oops.
It's a lot like
hello,
that.
oops.
We should all get marquees on our cars. Oops. Oops. Good game. You cut someone off just behind you.
Oops. Oops.
I really want to go the George Carlin round and be able to type on it, you know, which you of course shouldn't do while driving, but fuck it. Or just have pre-type a bunch of them. And the one from his bit was, you drive like old people fuck. Slow and sloppy.
Oh my God.
And I need it. I need to communicate that exact phrase to most drivers on the road.
Yeah. Agreed.
Most of them.
All right, so after the show, I'm going to go home and I'm going to make an account and I'm going to show you how it's done, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Oops.
What I think is
Fight.
what I think is really good for Wizards of the Coast, the company that runs Magic the Gathering. I'm rattled.
Done.
Oops.
Is that
Oops.
this gives them the ability to gather much more data about the behavior of all the cards that they've created. Because if everybody's buying them, the only way for them to get feedback is be like, I don't like this card.
Oops.
Post.
I want the data of how many times people say oops to hello.
How many times oops is used.
So now they can see how all the
After
cards...
this date, it will be like astronomically more than.
I'm gonna make an account just to spam oops at people. I won't even like attempt to be good at the game. I'll just throw cards.
Oops.
I'll just make all the wrong decisions and say oops every single time. That's my
I
strategy.
love that so much because people will think like it starts out genuine and then they're like, okay, this guy doesn't know what's going on.
So you're gonna throw the game.
I'm not going to throw the game. I'm just going to like not think.
Okay.
I'm just going to make decisions arbitrarily.
Okay.
Call Me Kevin does that. He does an episode where he plays Magic the Gathering.
Oh, really?
He uses all the worst cards.
Well, that's Call Me Kevin to a T.
But the best part about that is it's just though like you're making the worst decision, but you've got enough awareness of how you should play the game to recognize that you've made a mistake.
No.
But you immediately do it again.
I think this would be a good choice.
Well,
Oops.
Bill.
Oh, next round I'll get him. Just kidding. Oops.
Yeah. Well, Bill, you have made an assumption about my strategy, and that is being aware that I've made a mistake.
That's what
I'm not aware.
That's what
It
the
doesn't
oops
matter.
implies.
I know that.
It's what your opponent is going to perceive it as.
Okay,
Right.
fair, but I want to.
Holy Christ.
But my actual, like, real life, what I'll be doing is just assuming I made a mistake
Oh my God, if you beat them.
because I'm not making actual decisions. I don't know enough about the game to even like phonate right now what that might look
God.
like.
Don't read
But
it,
if you
it's
play Magic the
spoiler.
Gathering, I am certain you can imagine a way you could execute the control.
I love the idea that like you would stumble your way through to win a game and somebody sends back good game and there's a pause. And then from you they receive oops.
But yeah, that's the only way you can communicate.
Oh,
You can't,
that's
there's no custom, nothing.
Oh, they're learning.
Yeah,
They're learning.
it's really nice. It's really, really nice.
That's one thing. I don't want to drag us off topic here.
You will.
But possibly. I like in the Battle Royale games, PUBG, Fortnite, and Blackout, they pretty much have, I'm pretty sure they've completely disabled proximity chat. So, like, you can't just roll up on people and then troll. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop people from direct Steam messaging or Xbox Live messaging them or whatever, but that's a major improvement.
I have never received one of those messages like "fuck you, bro."
I'm full of them.
Are you?
As in,
And
you
on-
hand
sure.
them out to people? Or
No,
you
as
get
in
them?
I get them all the time, and I'm like, I didn't even do anything strange. Like I just walked into a room.
How would you know?
missed, and I hit you.
If you did something strange, how would
They
you
have
know,
a kill
Frank?
cam in most of the games.
What do they say to you?
They're just like, "Oh, you suck, you fucking camper," or some bullshit like that.
Oh,
And I was like,
okay.
I walked into your room. What are you talking about, dude?
But you're playing on a console, so they're putting in time to type this.
Yeah, unless they have. Well, I mean, they might even have one.
Even
of
with
those
the chat
keyboards.
pad,
it still
though.
is.
It's still a pain in
of
the
a pain.
dick. I have
Yeah.
a chat pad.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember back in the day, I used to get voice messages.
Shut up.
Yeah, because you used to be able to send voice messages to people. I think you
Just
still
willy
can.
Is it
Nilly,
like
yeah.
text to speech or
No, you can record like your voice up for up to 30 seconds and
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know.
And I think that used to be the main way people would leave messages for one another in Xbox. And I
But
would
now
get
you
them.
know.
Yeah,
Tell everyone, oops.
yeah.
So this would have been relevant to the last section's conversation. The other people getting emotional and sending
Yeah.
you voice messages.
Mhm.
Can you remember a good one?
Oh no, I just normally would get them. I'd listen to like 5 seconds. I was like, oh, this guy's pissed. Whatever, delete.
man, you put your crosshairs on my head and I died. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
The,
So
That sounds like Bill.
yeah, I'm.
the best I ever felt on a
Oops.
server is in Counter-Strike when I went in and I killed a bunch of people and they were all convinced I was hacking. I was like, oh, I feel pretty cool.
Oops.
Thanks for the compliment, bruh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm that's good that they have that because I mean, look, all right. So here's I was talking to Chris about this when Jake, and I went out to dinner on Friday night.
You guys went out to dinner?
Yeah.
We didn't get invited?
No.
You're unbelievable.
Great. Oops.
I get out?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Oops.
You already excluded us. Why do I have to leave?
You
You should be the one
I'm
leading.
doubling down.
Damn
on my
it.
exclusion of you.
Damn it.
So there.
Uh,
Take that.
But yeah, when we were talking about Magic, and so here is my one and only experience with Magic: The Gathering that turned me off of it for a very long time.
Oops.
I was in college, and I went to a tournament I don't even know if it was a tournament. It wasn't like an officially sanctioned like Magic tournament or anything. It was like dudes that I knew from some of my classes that invited me to go play, and whatever. And I walk in, and I just remember walking in, and like there were like 10 to 20 guys there with their decks, like playing Magic. And I walked in, and I could smell it.
Oh no!
Yeah, like it was foul. Because I mean that was just, I remember that being the thing, and I saw the types of people that were playing it. In this particular instance, not necessarily on the whole, but like I remember I was like, oh God, no.
I'll tell you,
turn around and walk
I definitely think that there has been not a resurgence, but like a general, excuse me, acceptance into the mainstream of what used to be perceived as the nerdy stuff. Because apparently everybody my age and older grew up in like a 1980s teen movie where they were all bullied for having crazy different hobbies.
You wear glasses? What a nerd. Nice eyes for eyes. You play what? Dungeons and Nerd.
So
one nerd.
Just one.
Multiple dungeons.
It's the nerd.
One nerd, dungeons. Many dungeons.
So maybe it's from our God King Sheldon in Big Bang Theorem that finally made popular all this dork stuff. But
I think it
like
was before.
tons and tons of people now are exposed to D&D and Magic the Gathering, and I think maybe that's why it's finally growing. It's like there was this whole market that never even considered it. Maybe they didn't even know about it. Now they do.
Maybe people are just getting sick of technology media and we need a fucking break from it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons.
Like, I mean honestly, like...
Chinese can't hack my Magic cards.
My Ninja info cards.
I will say, though, doing this, I spent probably about 4 to 5 hours building these decks. And it was nice to get away from my computer for a little bit to do that.
Yeah, while you were busy building your deck, I was busy banging.
Busy milking your dick.
Hey, no, we were supposed to be the cool jocks.
Busy.
Like from the movies.
I'm the coolest man.
All right, so what do you think?
It doesn't get any cooler than me.
What do you think?
You shut your mouth.
Well, you did exclude me, so now I'm hungry for your approval.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
I've already elevated you
bitch.
to...
Lasagna.
All right.
Sorry, go on.
What's your next stage? Buy more cards, play more game?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to keep playing online. I definitely try to at least get the daily achievements done.
You know, there's a place around here that does like free competitive play every Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
GamesKeep.
GamesKeep. That's where I bought this. That's where I bought this set.
They have Adventures League for D&D too.
Yeah.
Every second and fourth Sunday of the month.
All right. Might have to check that
what
out.
does that mean?
This place is like hopping. There is so much in this place.
It's got to be one of the best board games places, like games places anywhere that I've ever seen. I mean, it is packed from wall to wall with everything.
And multiples of everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're very well stocked.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm probably going to start playing more. I'm probably going to I'm going to attempt to check out a Friday Night Magic, and I'm going to see what it's like.
Well,
and I can report back on that one.
You guys can go on another little hot date and forget about the rest of us, so have fun.
We can do that.
Oh,
But,
we will.
Yeah, good.
It'll be real fun.
I'm glad.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a gay old time.
You mother. Oops. All right. Wasn't there something else you wanted to touch on?
Oh yeah, we could talk about like how you build up your card collection in the game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because a lot of people were like, oh, because we were just talking about the whole money situation part of it. If you're a little bitch about your money,
If I was a bitch.
if you're a bitch about it, the game is free to play. The Magic the Gathering Arena is free to play online.
Do you mean if you are frugal,
Frugal.
aka a bitch with
A
your
bitch
money?
with your
Okay.
money.
All right.
Yeah.
Bitch with your money.
We're losing.
Are you tired of spending money on trading cards? I have bills to pay. There has to be
A better way.
It's called a video game.
Introducing the money bitch.
The money man.
All right. Tell us about
Jesus
building that deck.
Is it like an automaton robot?
Come on, Chris, save us.
Hold on to your money.
It's exactly that. But anyway,
Money
so they start you off with like a handful of decks that you can choose from, like depending on like what you want your play style to be, and then you go through like a tutorial, and they'll give you a little bit of coins here, a little bit of coins here, until you get to the end, and then they give you like I think that had like 6,000 coins.
What are you using coins for?
You get them for gems, which you can buy like things, and then you get coins, which can buy packs. Like booster packs and stuff like that.
Can you spend real dollars on these coins?
You can if you would like, but so far I have yet to even need to. Because they're so generous with giving you more coins just for playing the game.
Good.
I can pretty much I can get a pack at least one booster pack a day.
Wow.
And you don't even really need that much, but then like that stacks up, because then there'll be daily bonuses, weekly bonuses, in addition to like all these other bonuses that they'll give you. And then I think and then there's the weekly ones. You can get a whole new deck, which then you can have all of those cards at your disposal to make other decks. So you really don't have to spend money unless you want to. And then how they do, which I'll probably do that for them because I really do enjoy it and I put a lot of time into it. And then there's another way for like anything that's pretty much rare and mythic rare and like the real card things. Every certain number of packs that you buy or get gets I forgot what the exact number is, but you get towards that, but then you get to choose which one. So then you can choose which mythic rare or rare that you want. Or uncommon.
A little less random.
Revolutionary. Mythic rare. Very cool.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, if you want to learn Magic, if you've always wanted to learn but you don't want to spend money and then hate it, like I definitely think playing it on Magic the Gathering Arena would be very beneficial. I thought the tutorial was very good, and then just playing it a couple times, like I was able to get it. And then if you buy the core set of 2019, you've already used all the cards in the arena game because that's what they're using right now. So everything that I got in this set, I recognized them all already, so I knew exactly what they did. So my learning curve going from the game to the actual cards was very minimal.
Now, is there a mobile version?
No.
0 out of 10. I'm going to play Hearthstone instead.
Although Hearthstone is pretty good.
When do you get your Blue Eyes White Dragon?
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card for our listeners who don't know. Hi, Dad. All right, Frank.
Oops.
They don't have Black Lotus in there because that card's been retired for forever, but that card's worth a lot.
What is that?
Frank.
Yeah.
What?
You were telling us that you were flying to space.
Yep.
With a monster of some sort. Jerobe? What were you doing?
What?
Playing Kerbal Space Program?
Yes, that's it. Tell us about that. You said you've gotten quite a bit of time in the last day.
So I've probably sunk about... when was the last time I talked about this? It had to be at least a month ago, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say at least
1 to
3.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, so like 3.
Really? It was. I could have sworn it might have been... for something... I thought it was before Christmas.
It could have been.
Yeah. Anyway, I think... I don't even know if I had been... if I had gotten much past even to orbit the last time that we played. Well, I've now landed on both of the moons.
There's 2 moons?
For this game. Yeah, I like to call it the moon and smoon. Or secret moon.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
what
you should
and that was so, and it was secret to me at first because I thought that the solar system in Kerbal Space was a direct analog of our solar system. And then that would mean Earth, which is, well, Kerbin, which is supposed to be Earth, only has 1 moon. But that is obviously not the case. There is a second moon or smoon.
And we're sure it's not a glitch?
Yes. There are objectives behind getting there and everything. So I've managed to land on and return from both as well as orbit. And I did it. I tried to do it in the same way that that NASA did the missions, where like the first thing you do is fly by it, so you don't actually do anything with it. You just fly near it, get captured a little bit by its gravity, and then come back to your planet.
You don't just project yourself right into it?
No. and then orbit it, right? And then once you can successfully orbit it, it's not much more to, well, actually, I guess it is a lot more to then land on and return from the actual body itself. So I've now done that several times for both moons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working up. I launched a probe that was supposed to go to the Mars equivalent called Duna. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be able to actually intercept it.
Why is that?
I think I launched at the wrong time, so you have to be very careful. You need to launch at the right time in order to make a major planetary transfer, essentially. If the angle of
the dangle,
if the angle between your planet, the sun, and the planet you're trying to go to is not,
that's the Kerbal word for angle, dangle.
If it's not that correct angle, then it's very, very, very difficult to actually get into the other planet's orbit.
So this is fun for you?
Yes, it is so much fun. Look, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to do this game.
Just a robot.
It rocks you through everything you need, and it is not hard to make money to replace lost or broken spaceships or anything like that. So if you screw up, you just try again. You just keep trying. Yeah, exactly. You just keep throwing people and money at it, and then eventually you'll get there. But you can definitely, if you want to put the work into understanding what's going on. And I mean, I took physics, so I have all of the information and all of the tools and skills that I need in order to actually do this. So when I need to, if I start failing at something multiple times, I'm like, all right, time to go get the calculator. I'm going to fucking figure this shit out and then do it the right way, which that's what I had to do to get to the moon. I had to sit there and figure out how heavy my spacecraft was, use the rocket equation to figure out exactly how much fuel, stuff, they call it delta V, right? A change in velocity. Mm-hmm. I need to get to lunar orbit, land, and come back, and then do the math on the engines and say, okay, my spaceship weighs this, I have this much fuel, it makes this much thrust, how much delta V do I have in the rocket equation? Okay, good, I have enough. Now, what kind of trajectory do I need? I did not really do that one by hand. There was a thing online that could help you do it. But it made once I did that, I got there and back no problem. I was oh, no wonder they planned this shit for months in real life, because it turns out when you do it and do it pre-plan everything instead of just fucking flying by the seat of your pants, you can do it with, I'm not going to say not much trouble, but it works.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe I'll look into that. If I want more homework in my life, I'll give that a try.
No, you shouldn't think of it like that. You do not need to do any of that. You can just sit there and have fun. You can go into
your brain.
Yeah, you can just treat it like a puzzle. That's exactly right, Genevieve. That's a good observation.
Yeah.
Now you're all turning against me. I see.
Yeah. Well, we've always been against you.
All right. Hey, speaking of the seat of your pants are in a new seat, aren't they, buddy, old pal, Jacob?
What a transition. Good game.
Wow. Oops. The seat of my pants is, in fact, in a new seat designed for pants.
Mm-hmm.
Just for pants?
The size of me. Jake size. Big boy.
Yeah, I was trying to navigate my huge man body around in your room today, and I was like, "There's not a lot of space." And why is that? Oh, Jake got a new chair.
The chair it's bigger. It's the brand is a Blue Whale. I got it on Amazon for $185. Worth every bit of it. Racing style seat. I think it was rated for 330 pounds. I'm 280.
Damn.
Where most of them are 250 or less, which is super annoying. What do you call it? Car seat style reclining and locking joint there. So you don't it's not just a lean pressure type of thing.
Yeah, I kind of hate those chairs.
I got a handle right here on my right next to my ass. I'm
and you've got a back headrest.
I have a headrest pillow that is just buckles on. It's adjustable.
Oh my God.
And as well as a lumbar support pillow.
Ooh.
which vibrates.
What?
It is currently plugged in.
Are you vibrating right now, bro?
No, you would hear it.
Oh.
Here.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Oh,
Jake is shifting. He's pushing something. Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck
Let me get my microphone, your microphone close for some of that vibration action.
Not farting.
Do you feel the comfort, listeners? Can you sense it?
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
You know, and that's really the thing. At work,
Okay.
they have these chairs that are ergonomic. I'm sure they're very expensive. And they're like this frame with an elastic netting over it and levers and shit. And
I have one of those at work too.
Same.
I have destroyed them. Like
Sure, it's not a loom.
they literally break. The screws will break off under my weight. They just fall out. And then the whole thing gets so loose because it can't withstand my 300 pounds of mass that I go to a new desk for somebody who's yet to occupy that desk, and I just switch out. I switch it out. I take theirs and I give them my old broken one.
So somewhere there's a room full of broken chairs.
No, it's just in random places all over the office. I mean, we have enough room for like 200 people, but we've only got like 60 there right now. So I just take a new one. I think I'm on my 6th one.
Jesus.
So I got to just go ahead and get my own chair. And if you're reporting good performance out of this one, then
I did quite a bit. I got on Amazon. I only looked at Amazon. I know, Frank, you got a new chair a while back from Newegg.
That was like $80 too. That was like one of those things.
You don't have to spend what I spent.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, similar to like some of the deals I've seen you get, where you get like an Amazon. Like Amazon will give you a certain percentage off and also give you like a $20 coupon. That was how I got my chair. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This store wasn't anything too fancy like that, but I did quite a bit. I probably compared like 24 or so different gaming like office chairs like this one, and this was just like the right weight requirement. It didn't have any frills I didn't want. The big one are foot rests, like collapsible foot rests, which sounds like a neat idea, except I'm specifically looking at models for big and tall, and this footrest definitely would only like get underneath my knees, and you know, like
No,
like a reclining
capacity or whatever it was.
Yeah, but it's just two like probably steel or aluminum rods, right? That come out the side, and it just runs on that and like flips up, and it's a padded, rest. But I'm like, bro, I'm 6 foot. The better part is 6'4".
yeah.
Like 280. Like this little. I'm gonna break this fucking thing.
No, dude.
I don't want to pay for it.
What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put your feet up on it and have your knees in your chin, and that's supposed to be comfortable.
I see.
It is pretty comfortable. I have that on my
wheelchair.
I'm not at all.
Yeah, of course it's comfortable for you, Chris.
No.
But you're not, freakish.
So
you're not a Sam Squanch.
If you're over 6 feet tall and you have a reclining sofa of some type, your feet probably hang off the end when you're reclining. That's fine, right? They're leg rests, but they're sturdy enough, so they should be, where it's still comfy as shit. Like the fact your feet are hanging off the whatever, you can pull them back a little bit. You can curl up a little bit if you need to, but it's whatever. Not a single one of these foot/leg rest model of gaming chair looked at all properly, structurally sound for my fat ass. So, no thanks. And I could have gotten a chair that didn't have that for cheaper than this, but this was just like all the right dimensions, all the right modularity with nothing extra I didn't care about. And it wasn't cheap at $185-ish or so. But it was, I was able to carefully narrow it down.
Well, here's the one thing that I look at your chair and I remain very suspect of: the armrest action. I have found chairs to be relatively comfortable, but then you get to the armrest and they just fall out, or they don't settle right in the zone I need them to vertically, or they twist all the time. What's the performance like from these arms?
They're probably the weakest part, but they're still quite good. I tend to kind of knock them. The actual, so there's the arm that comes up from beneath the seat on which the armrest is flattened out over.
Like a T shape.
Sure. And the surface that actually is adjustable, the way that your arm rests on, and what you're kind of alluding to is it's not the most, it doesn't feel flimsy per se. it just adjusts very easily. It snaps positively into place, but it's pretty easy to knock them out of the detent and move to the next position, even if you don't necessarily want to. Not that big of a deal. But of any chair like this, and the big thing for me is the height adjustment. None of them are tall enough. This one is the closest of any of them, right? And if I'm leaning back slightly, it's perfect. If I'm sitting, like when I'm gaming, I'm usually sitting fully upright.
And direct.
Yeah, and exactly. I'm pitching several tents.
Many tents.
Many tents. All on top of each other. Don't ask.
Don't think about it too much.
So sitting fully upright, there's like a half an inch where I'm just like, it's a little bit more, but this is solvable, with just DIY. I don't have to go buy anything expensive or fancy to fix that.
Yeah, I finally found a chair that's comfortable for me to sit in. And so I've been driving around this 2011 Toyota Corolla for 1,000 years. Well, since 2010.
It's a millennia, yeah.
And I always rest my elbow on the window, and it's just not quite in the right place. And I keep thinking about adding padding, but then I realize I have no idea where it's comfortable to put my arms, because I'm stupid. So I finally found a chair that works for me, and it's an old chair, and it doesn't have dedicated arms. It comes up sort of in an arch from hand height and continually goes up to the apex behind your head. And it is in the dance studio where I learned to ballroom dance. It is the only chair I've ever found that is comfortable for me to sit in all the time. I'm tempted to just take it and put it at work. And they go, why are you sitting in a regular couch thing? What are they called? Armchairs. Yes. I go, because this is what works for me.
It doesn't spin. It doesn't do anything like an office chair.
Yep. But I'm always afraid if I get too comfortable, I'll just pass out at work. And I don't think they'd fire me or anything, but they would draw on my face. Well.
Womp womp.
Oops.
Good chair. Do recommend.
Blue Whale?
Yeah. But really anyone who sits at a computer for extended periods of time when they're not at work and is looking for a chair of some type for that purpose, these like racing style gaming chairs, they're worth it.
You still satisfied with yours, Frank?
Very. Love every second of having it.
Yeah.
Every time I'm sitting in, I'm like, yeah, this is a good
Spend the time, it's not like a super major purchase, right? Except the kind of is if you're going to spend a lot of time in it.
Yeah.
So if you can make money a secondary concern and just look at the features, look at, consider your size, your weight, the sort of things you want out of it, and pick one up that is right for you.
Yeah. Chris, you sit on a toadstool at work, right?
Yeah.
My toadstool.
Yeah.
All right. Jake, you got a new microphone apparatus over there. It's looking pretty cool. You want to touch on that before we wrap up the section?
Okay.
Okay. I got an extra boom for my desk.
And I haven't seen that little, is that an Android device you got there? I've never seen that before.
The tablet. I've had it for a while.
It's the same one I have.
Galaxy Tab A. Just for auxiliary.
Oh, yeah.
And then I happen to have my webcam that I barely use on top of that because it's the only angle I like with my current setup of me.
It's a very impressive setup.
Yeah. But I have this little clamp on boom, nothing fancy. It was like $20 for a mic that can sit right in front of me, as opposed to using this goofy spring-loaded podcasting boom that I use for the show, which is far larger and more sophisticated than what I would need if I'm just staring at my computer with.
I made myself a microphone mount with my blue snowball at my house. I happened, from another project, to have a bunch of half-inch black iron pipe left with some couplings. So I put that together. Doobie-doobie-doo. I'm moving my hands to show you how I screwed things together. And then I took some clampos and I screwed those into the wall. Bang, zoom, I got a microphone stand.
Nice.
Yeah, for free. And it's got a cool steampunk feel.
Oh, shit.
I'm trendsetter.
Oh, oops.
Mr. Cool Guy.
All right, G, give my
Mr. Twisty Hands? Lead me to the microphone.
All right,
you.
that's enough. All right, everybody. We're going to kick it over to another break. We'll come back with our Steam review. Catch you on the flip side. All right, here we are. We're getting the Steam sale. Are you ready to steam your top? All right, first one, Mean Green's Plastic Warfare. I remember 1,000 years ago there was like an N64 game, Sarge's Heroes.
Sarge's Heroes, Army Men, yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of the Army Men from Toy Story who were sentient. And this looks like that. I guess it's just Army Man based.
I loved that game, Soldier's Heroes. That was a great game.
Yeah.
What does this look like? What does this actually look like with Army Man themed stuff? This looks like it handles like the old Star Wars.
It's kind of fast.
The old Star Wars Battlefront. It's pretty cool though. There's like toy train to run across. Anyhow, it's 90% off for 99 cents.
It's got mostly positive from 2015.
Honestly, it looks like, I mean,
There's
I'm
an
not
octopus?
just, not from a gameplay fun perspective, but I mean, like, graphically, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for being from 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pay $1 for this.
Yeah.
As long as there's like an active community still playing, this looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Well,
I mean, they were just playing soccer, so there's probably a whole fuck ton of like little mini games in it too. So yeah, this looks like a lot of fun for $1.
All right. Buck, if you could. All right.
Yep.
Weekend deal, Dragon Ball.
Okay, let's click on that. There seems to be a fucking shitload of money off all the Dragon Ball Fighters. Yeah. 60% off. We talked about that game several episodes ago. It's supposed to be pretty fucking brolic.
Yeah. About a year old yesterday, actually.
24 bucks. If you're into a fighting game, it is well worth every single penny. Like if you're into that like Tekken style 1v1 2D kind of fighter, that is a good deal. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, 75% off at $12.49. I think that's a little bit of an older game, but pretty much the last 3 or 4 Dragon Ball fighting games that I've seen have been pretty well received. I mean, these are all tempting, but I know I'm total trash at them, so I don't think it's something I'll pick up. But if you're into fighters and you haven't picked it up yet, take a look. All right, Aussie sale, I guess from the guys down under.
There's a lot of games.
Hacknet.
Hurt World.
Yonder. Oh, we looked at Yonder once and we were like, huh, interesting. And then I think we opened it. We're like, this is garbage.
It was just like so vague about what it was. Like it was just like adventure.
Black Wake. Oh, my buddy just Carl, friend of the podcast. He showed me a screenshot. The first 8 servers were completely full on Black Wake, which hasn't happened in forever. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It must be this sale.
What is
$8.
Stranded Deep? Golf with your friends.
None of these sales are super impressive. Hollow Knight's pretty old. I mean, it's a really great indie game, but $10?
Regions of Ruin looks pretty friggin' fun. It's like space dwarves and shit, I think.
What? Oh yeah, what is that? Oh,
or am I thinking of that other dwarves game?
More popular games from Aussie developers. All right. Trains Simulator
with a Z.
Oh.
That's how
is
you know
that,
it's cool.
is that an Asylum knockoff movie?
Am I going to buy it and freak out like a train, whatever? Ooh, look at what is Crawl?
Now with multiplayer.
What is Crawl?
Yes. Scroll up a little bit, please. Click on that. That might be a winner.
Crawl.
Here we go. Very positive, overwhelmingly positive.
Game.
Crawl is a local multiplayer dungeon crawler where your friends control the monsters.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, shit. Battle
like
through dungeons and power up your hero. If a friend kills you, they take your place and it's their turn to crawl. It's a race to gain enough experience and loot to take on the hulking final boss. Wow!
Whoa, that's cool.
Pixel graphics, dungeon crawler, and local multiplayer. Oh, man.
This is right up Bill's alley.
Yeah, this is a nice little couch side by side. This looks so cool. All right, well, I think I tipped my hand on what I might get today.
And it's only $5.
Only $5. Wait. Hentai Dreams.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think I have that on my
Where's
wish
that?
list, or I already bought it for 10 cents. I
Where's
don't know.
it? Where are you seeing that?
It's
It's like in the middle.
And I can't. Okay, there we go.
Hentai Dreams.
Look at.
Oh, okay.
Three user reviews. Developer squids around.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
The Raven.
Well, it just came out in December of last year. So, it hasn't quite
Picked up all the
its
hype
sales
it should.
figures.
Nudity, sexual content, indie, casual, strategy. What?
Is it a puzzle game?
It's only $2.59.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's a puzzle game.
Oh yeah, this is just fucking.
This is the dumbest shit.
This is just porn.
Levels become more difficult as
But
you possess,
no, not a
reordering
picture.
parts of a nude picture.
Raven bar and bed.
All right, I'm bored.
It looks
All
like
right.
a tavern.
Killing time at light speed. Look, okay. If you get past the
Go ahead.
if you get past the big name games up top, which are only like 35% off, there's some pretty cool stuff down here that look like you just freaked out at Solar 2. 80% off.
For a $1.99.
So what's American Dream?
I never heard of Solar 2. I played the first Solar. It was a Xbox Live arcade game. For $1 I paid for it, and you simply were a yellow star, a sun, and you could move around the universe and collide with other stars and get absorb planets and have planets orbiting you and get them to capture moons and eventually develop life. And it was just a little sandbox. There wasn't any particular object to it. You could eventually become a black hole, at which point the game was functionally over. But you would run around the map and just throw everything with your gravity. It was pretty.
Nice.
It was well worth $1. I got many hours out
It
of
says
it.
it's relaxing, so
Yeah, so this is a sequel to it. Apparently, the pictures aren't entirely forthcoming, but
It just looks like space.
yeah,
Space
it
stuff.
looks like a similar idea, maybe more refined. And for $2, I'm probably going to pick it up.
More space.
all right, let's kick
Yeah,
out
I'll
of
probably
here.
throw mine for that
Now,
one.
before we get out of the Aussie thing, let's look at Bannerman.
American.
Top left there.
The American Dream. You're not interested?
No, I'm gonna skip that. It's too expensive. Bannerman. Bannerman is a gritty, good sign, an atmospheric medieval action adventure with a bleak narrative. Yes, and focus on historically accurate, challenging, skill-based sword fighting.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, action, violent, gore, indie, adventure. Mostly positive. Let's see, $4.79. Adventure across kingdom ravaged by war. This seems to have the
Isolated.
Those look as legit as I can understand them anyway.
The bloodshed is accurate.
What was did it say historically accurate bloodshed?
Yes. Yes. it
Okay.
did.
Skill-based sword fighting, yeah.
So this reminds me of that stick figure sword fighting game that we've played
yeah.
before, Needhog or Needhog.
Yeah.
The sword fighting reminds me a lot of that, like parries high, blocks low.
He's using. I watched some.
Harry murder.
I watch a couple of historical weapons channels, and some of them do like historical sword fighting type stuff. And I'm seeing like text, almost literally textbook guards and swings, like shit straight out of the manuals that they reference on those videos. So, in my bitch boy opinion, that looks like they did
like
put
you're
some of that
playing
effort into it.
Torment.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to buy this game.
Yeah,
This looks pretty
You look
fucking
like
sweet.
Torment from Game of Thrones.
yeah, looks pretty fun.
All right, let's get out of here.
Train Town.
All right, Inside Limbo. What the fuck is this?
Inside and Limbo are
Oh.
two separate games from the same
They're
developer.
both sad boys, though.
Sad
For a total of
boy
$10, you can pick up
video
Limbo.
games. Yeah, Inside is
And Inside.
$60. I think we looked at this before, and it's
60%. It's
60% off. Sorry, for $8, and then Limbo is $2 off.
Are you buying both at the same time? It's $9.
80% off.
Oh, it's even more discounted. I think we looked at Inside, and it looked really enticing.
Buy both at once, and it'll only be $9.
Yeah. Inside, Hunted and Alone. Fault is my own. The fault is my own. I want to hear. All right, sorry. Hunted and Alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project.
The the artwork looks pretty good with this.
Interesting.
I remember being really intrigued by this game when it first came out, and now that it's a steep discount, I might give it a try.
Oh my God, they walk just like I do.
Like Sam Squanch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art in this game is really cool. The atmosphere looks great. I don't really know what it's all about, but it looks like a really neat side scroller, and it's big time discounted.
Oh, dude. Oh.
So for $9, you could figure out if you like this developer or not. I don't think that's a bad deal. All right, let's kick out of here.
This looks great. It actually reminds me a lot of the concept art for Pixar movies, like specifically The Incredibles.
Yeah. All right. Hollow Knight, we've already touched on that. That is a great game. It's 34% off. If you spend the $9.89 for it, you can't go wrong. All right. Free weekend. What is this?
The Freakend?
Yeah. Endless Space and Endless Space 2? What the hell are these things?
Electric Boogaloo?
Dungeon of the Endless, Endless Space Gold, Legend Symbiosis, Endless.
Dungeon of the Endless. Endless Space.
Do you think any of these games ever end?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and this is an off the cut. I am judging the book by its cover, right? If they have this many games under one franchise and I've never heard of it, it's probably not very good. Like, we're pretty dialed in to the video game universe here.
Yeah.
And it's rare that if none of the 5 of us have heard of this, and there are 6 games. All right, it's got very positive reviews though. I could be completely dead wrong. It's also 5 years old.
Hex-based battle.
Wow, this one isn't.
Endless Space 2 is a strategic space opera. What the fuck does that mean? Featuring the compelling just one more turn gameplay set in the mysterious endless universe. As the leader of your civilization, will you impose your vision and build the greatest stellar empire? Ooh, published by Sega.
Yeah.
Developed by
Sega. Frank might be eating his words here.
Yeah, he might eat them. Is that a skill tree? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bill likes skill trees.
Oops.
This is news.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Probably go back to wearing sweatpants.
Yeah, I mean, just because we haven't heard of something good, I think we've said with like other topics, like music or movies or whatever, or YouTube channels or what have you. It's kind of impossible to encounter everything that's good.
No, we're going to double down. If we don't know it, it's shit.
It's garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Right.
Trash.
Yep.
That covers all the sales here on special offers on the Steam page.
All right. Franklin, want to get us started?
I'm going to go off the books here. If you scroll down a little bit.
Oh.
Second from the
You're going to go Rocket
left.
League, aren't you?
Civilization 6 for full price.
No, there's a new expansion coming out in like 2 weeks.
Pre-purchase the new expansion.
I highly recommend you get it if you have the base game.
Okay. All right. G-Vive.
I'm thinking I'm probably going to get both Inside and... Oh, shit, what's the other one?
Sad Boy.
The Sad Boy games.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a sad boy.
Chris, hit us up. Sorry.
I'm going to probably go with Solar 2.
Oh, yeah.
I would probably
That's
get
Solar
that.
2.
Yeah.
$2.
That looks cool, but you know what? I think I would get bored. I'm going to go with Mean Greens, and then I think I'm going to do Bannerman.
Yeah,
that looks
cool.
right up my alley.
I might need
It looks like Hotline Miami in medieval times.
historically accurate bloodshed.
Probably gonna do a combo.
Combo.
Mean Greens because $1.
Mm-hmm.
Solar 2 because $2.
Mm-hmm.
Inside and Limbo together for another $9. Game set match.
Yeah. Mean Greens, you can't go wrong with.
We're claiming victory. Remember, if we haven't heard of you, check
You're
yourself.
trash.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. If you're listening and you like this little different format, shorter section, go ahead and leave us some feedback or fax us. But as always, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to never but not ever McTwist, huh? Cock 'em, lock 'em, and rock 'em, baby.
Oops.
Those were incredibly realistic gunshots.
Blah, blah.
Brah!